Navigating the labyrinthine world of relationships can often feel like trying to decipher an ancient cryptic scroll. This feeling is amplified when we try to bridge the gap between the sexes. Men and women, it seems, often approach relationships with vastly different perspectives, emotional toolkits, and communication styles. This can lead to misunderstandings, frustrations, and in some cases, the feeling that we are from different planets altogether. This essay delves into the intricate workings of a man's heart and mind within the context of romantic relationships. It aims to shed light on the often misunderstood nature of men in love, helping you, dear reader, to better understand the male psyche and foster stronger, more fulfilling connections. Prepare to embark on a journey of discovery where we'll unravel the enigma that is man's approach to love, commitment, and emotional expression. Imagine for a moment that men are from Mars and women are from Venus. Each planet has its own unique language, customs, and ways of expressing love. Martians, known for their practicality and problem-solving abilities, may express their love through acts of service or by providing for their loved ones. Venusians, on the other hand, value communication, emotional expression, and quality time. They may express love through words of affirmation, heartfelt gestures, or simply by being present and attentive. Now imagine a Martian and a Venusian trying to communicate their love for each other using their native languages. The Martian might show his love by fixing his partner's broken appliance or by offering practical solutions to her problems. The Venusian, however, might long for words of affirmation or a deeper emotional connection. Without understanding each other's languages, their expressions of love might get lost in translation, leading to feelings of frustration, neglect, or being misunderstood. This metaphorical scenario highlights the importance of recognizing that men and women often communicate and express love in distinct ways. Men, influenced by societal expectations and their biological makeup, may gravitate towards problem-solving and action-oriented expressions of love. They might express their affection by doing things for their partners, offering practical support, or by initiating physical touch. Women, on the other hand, often value verbal expressions of love, emotional intimacy, and quality time spent together. Understanding these fundamental differences in communication and emotional expression is paramount to bridging the gap between the sexes and cultivating fulfilling relationships. By recognizing that we come from different planets with unique languages of love, we can begin to appreciate and value our partner's way of expressing affection. To truly understand a man's nature in love, we must venture into the intricate workings of his mind and heart. Men, often perceived as logical, are deeply emotional beings. Their emotional landscape is subtle and unique. Unlike women, men often process feelings internally before sharing. This difference reflects a different wiring, not a lack of feeling. Imagine a computer analyzing data before displaying it. Men need time and space to process emotions. This internal processing can manifest in various ways. Some men seek solitude to sort through their emotions, others channel feelings into action. These coping mechanisms are often misinterpreted. There's no one-size-fits-all approach to understanding men's emotions. Each man is unique in experiencing and communicating feelings. Some are naturally expressive, others more reserved. Some express love through gestures, others through quiet companionship. Approach each man with curiosity and an open heart. Imagine a man facing a challenging situation. He might feel a surge of emotions, frustration, anger, sadness, or even fear. However, instead of immediately expressing these emotions, he might retreat into himself, seeking solace in his man cave, whether that be a physical space or a mental sanctuary. This retreat is not a sign of indifference or a lack of caring. Rather, it's a coping mechanism, a way for him to process his emotions without feeling overwhelmed or exposed. During this processing time, he might engage in activities that help him to de-stress and regain a sense of control, watching sports, working on a project, or simply spending time alone with his thoughts. This period of introspection allows him to analyze the situation, understand his emotions, and formulate a plan of action. It's important to note that this process might take time, and that's okay. Men often need space and time to work through their emotions, and pressuring them to open up before they're ready can lead to further withdrawal or defensiveness. Once a man has had the opportunity to process his emotions, he's more likely to communicate them in a constructive and meaningful way. This communication might not always be verbal. It might manifest through actions, gestures, or even a renewed sense of closeness and affection. The key is to pay attention to the subtle cues, to the unspoken language of his actions, and to create a safe and supportive space for him to open up when he's ready. Remember, men often express their love and care through actions rather than words. They might not always say "I love you," but they'll show their love by fixing that leaky faucet, by surprising you with your favorite meal, or by simply being present and attentive to your needs. Learning to recognize and appreciate these different expressions of love is essential to building a strong and fulfilling relationship with a man. One of the most common sources of conflict in relationships stems from a lack of understanding about men's need for space. John Gray, in his seminal work Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus, uses the metaphor of the cave to illustrate this inherent need. He suggests that men, like rubber bands, need to pull away from time to time to recharge and reconnect with themselves. This retreating to the cave can manifest in various ways. A man might immerse himself in work, pursue a hobby, or simply spend time alone in quiet contemplation. It's important to understand that this need for space is not a rejection of the relationship or a sign of disinterest. It's simply a natural part of a man's emotional cycle, a way for him to regain his equilibrium and return to the relationship feeling refreshed and re-energized. Women, often wired for connection and communication, might misinterpret this need for space as withdrawal or a lack of affection. However, it's crucial to respect this need and to allow men the time and space they require to recharge. Trying to force a man to open up or to be more emotionally available when he's in his cave can often backfire, leading to resentment and further withdrawal. Just as men need to understand and respect a woman's need for connection, women need to understand and respect a man's need for space. By allowing each other the freedom to honor our natural rhythms and emotional needs, we create a more harmonious and fulfilling dynamic within the relationship. From the moment a boy takes his first breath, he's immersed in a world saturated with messages about masculinity. These messages shape his beliefs about himself and his role in romantic relationships. Think of it like a script handed to him at birth, outlining expected roles and behaviors. Boys are often encouraged to be strong, stoic, and self-reliant. They're taught to suppress emotions and take charge. These qualities can create challenges in romantic relationships. Emotional vulnerability and open communication are paramount. Imagine a boy witnessing his father hide his emotions. This lesson becomes ingrained in his understanding of masculinity. As he grows, these lessons influence his romantic interactions. He might struggle to express emotions, fearing vulnerability as weakness. He might retreat into himself, using solitude to manage feelings. These behaviors might be misinterpreted as disinterest. Not all men are raised with the same expectations. Family dynamics and cultural background shape a man's emotional landscape. Understanding societal expectations can help dismantle harmful stereotypes and create space for men to embrace their emotions. Cultural norms and traditions shape our beliefs, values, and behaviors. These unwritten rules define gender roles and acceptable behavior for men and women. Men are often expected to be providers, protectors, and emotionally stoic. This creates pressure to conform, leaving little room for emotional vulnerability. Imagine a young man raised to suppress emotions and maintain strength. He might feel pressured to hide his emotions even in personal challenges. This can lead to difficulty expressing affection and reluctance to seek help. Fear of appearing weak can cause men to internalize emotions. Media perpetuates these norms, portraying men as action heroes or successful entrepreneurs. These portrayals contribute to unrealistic definitions of masculinity. Many men feel pressured to live up to unattainable ideals. It's essential to challenge these expectations and embrace a nuanced understanding of masculinity. Men experience a full spectrum of emotions, and expressing them is not a sign of weakness. By fostering open communication and challenging stereotypes, we can create a supportive environment for men. Section 3. Redefining masculinity, navigating modern love in a changing world. Fortunately, the tides are turning. Traditional notions of masculinity are being challenged and redefined. Men are encouraged to embrace their emotions and engage in relationships as equal partners. This shift is about expanding the definition of masculinity. Conversations about vulnerability and emotional well-being are becoming normalized. Men are finding support in therapy groups and online communities. This evolution benefits men's well-being and relationships. Embracing emotional authenticity fosters deeper connections and mutual respect. Section 1. Beyond the stereotypes, unmasking the truth about men in love. Men, like women, crave intimacy, connection, and a sense of being understood. Stereotypes hinder our understanding of men's hearts. By challenging these beliefs, we create space for genuine connection. Embrace a nuanced perspective on men's experiences of love. Section 2. The myth of emotional detachment. Unveiling the depths of a man's heart. Men often express love through actions rather than words. Beneath stoicism lies a wellspring of emotions. Recognize diverse expressions of emotion. Create space for men to express feelings authentically. Section 3. The Mr. Fix-It fallacy. Understanding men's approach to support. Men often jump into problem-solving mode. This can create friction when emotional support is needed. Understand fundamental differences in communication styles. Men can learn to offer emotional validation. Section 1. Bridging the communication gap. Speaking each other's language. Men and women often approach communication differently. Men can develop emotional intelligence and active listening. Women can communicate needs more directly. Effective communication fosters connection and intimacy. Section 2. The art of active listening. Hearing beyond the words. True listening requires presence and empathy. Engage with your partner's words and emotions. Use nonverbal cues to convey attentiveness. Active listening strengthens relationships. Disagreements are inevitable in any relationship. Conflict can deepen intimacy when navigated with compassion. Shift perspective from winning to understanding. Use I statements and avoid blame. Approach disagreements with curiosity and compromise. Embrace the beautiful dance of differences in relationships. Differences add richness and complexity to love. Celebrate unique qualities each partner brings. Approach relationships with curiosity and empathy. Love blossoms in the harmonious blend of two individuals. Understanding is the sunlight and water that nourish love. Cultivate compassion by seeing the world through your partner's eyes. Empathy is the cornerstone of successful relationships. Create a safe space for vulnerability and authenticity. Respect your partner's right to their own experiences. Understanding a man's nature in love is not a destination we arrive at, but rather a lifelong journey of discovery. A continuous dance of learning, growing, and adapting to the ever-evolving rhythms of the relationship. It's about embracing the unknown with open hearts and minds, recognizing that even after years of togetherness, there will always be new depths to explore, new layers to uncover, and new facets of each other to discover. Communication, that intricate tapestry of words, gestures, and unspoken cues, is the bridge that connects two souls. It's through open, honest, and heartfelt communication that we build trust, deepen intimacy, and navigate the inevitable challenges that arise in any relationship. Remember, effective communication is not just about speaking our truth, but also about listening with our whole being, paying attention to our partner's words, interpreting their nonverbal cues, and seeking to understand the emotions and needs beneath the surface. As you embark on this journey of love and discovery, remember to approach each other with patience, compassion, and a healthy dose of humor. Celebrate your differences, for they are the threads that weave the rich tapestry of your connection. Don't be afraid to ask questions, to express your needs, and to seek clarification when misunderstandings arise. And above all, never stop exploring the wondrous, complex, and ever-evolving landscape of each other's hearts. For in the end, love is not about finding the perfect partner, but about embracing the imperfections that make us human. It's about choosing each other, day after day, and about building a love that is strong enough to weather the storms and resilient enough to blossom anew with each passing season. So go forth, dear reader, and embrace the beautiful complexities of love. The journey awaits, and it's a journey best traveled together.